Hey guys, welcome back to the Shadow of Mordor Wikia. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about the lore and orc society in Shadow of Mordor. So what we're seeing here is the ever familiar nemesis screen, and this is just kind of like the first glimpse that you get into the overall hierarchy of orc society in Shadow of Mordor. And the really interesting thing about how intuitive this is, that Monolith has built this, is every single orc that you see on this screen, and you can even just kind of cycle through them right now, Frank, if you want, one by one. Each one of them has a name, okay? Each one of them has different strengths and weaknesses. Each one of them has different fears and hates. You know, this guy over here might really hate Morgul flies. This guy over here might really hate, you know, Caragors. That really harkens back to a lot of the things that we've seen, not just in the books that you know, that Tolkien wrote, but also in the movies. You know, one of the things that we notice about Grishnak, who's one of the orcs that was made for the Two Towers movie, was he had a serious hate for hobbits, and you know, he wanted to eat them. You know, when they brought him back to the camp, and so you know, Ugluk was one of the Uruk-hai that was also in the camp in the Two Towers, and he had a fear of Saruman, and he didn't want the hobbits to be eaten, because he knew his job was to get the hobbits there safe. Exactly. And so, you know, you even see kind of the inner workings of how that, you know, of that relationship and between the Uruk-hai and the orcs, and that kind of caste system of the Uruk-hai against the different, you know, kind of hierarchy and monarchy that we have with the orcs as well. So let's get into the game here, and we've just gotten the Queen of the Sea mission. We just started that, so we now have the ability to brand orcs.
Yes.
And so that's where we're going to start right here.
Okay.
And let's take a look at kind of what we're seeing here within the orc society. And you're actually going to hear a little bit of dialogue about this captain, kind of talking about the legend of Talion in the world. So now we've just branded an orc, giving us the ability to actually control him and issue orders as well. That's all I get him out of the way.
Gotta get him out of the way there.
So if you're listening closely, you're actually going to be hearing this orc, who seems to be the leader of the orcs that are down below the bridge, kind of spouting off some Mordor rhetoric, if you will, and some kind of propaganda against Talion and against his mission. And so we're just going to kind of circle around here and take a really kind of close, in-depth look at some of these orcs and their overall kind of role in the system. And it's really interesting to me as we look around at the different roles of the orcs and the different kind of you know, jobs they have. And you know, you have archers, and they have their own specific duties. And if you go into Wraith mode, you can actually see that sometimes different enemies are branded with different colors based on what they do and their role that they play in the orc society as well.
I'll give you a little screenshot of that right here.
So already we can see that different orcs that are branded in different ways have different roles in this camp even. And something that reminds me of as well, a lot of, is when Frodo and Sam go to Cirith Ungol in the books as well as the movies. In the movies, they do a really good job of, there's another brand there, they do a really good job in the films of kind of capturing the dog-eat-dog system that is orc society, with, you know, you have another kind of relationship between an Uruk-hai and an orc with how they want to deal with certain situations. And Sam is actually able to go into the Tower of Cirith Ungol and literally you know, single-handedly take out an entire camp just by turning orcs against one another.
That's right.
And I know that's something that, you know, design director Michael DePlatter has made that same connection before, and I think that it's such a fantastic connection to make, because you see that these guys, they all want to rise to the top, right? And so, you know, the Uruk-hai wants to keep the mithril shirt, and the other orc, you know, wants to take it to the Great Eye along with everything else. Definitely, you know, exploit the different personalities of these orcs, and definitely exploit the different roles that they have in the overall orc society. And good hunting.
Witness the flame and be led to your redemption.